going to check the volume and everything. See how loud my voice is and stuff. Okay, I need to turn up my voice volume. Test, 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 test. Testing, 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 test, 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 test. Okay. Testing, testing, test, test, test. Voice. Okay, that was better. That's better. And then I'm gonna turn up my volume quick as well. Alright, there we go. So, welcome to Home, a unique horror adventure by Benjamin Rivers. So, I just looked up in PlayStation Store some horror games, and this one was cheap. It looked interesting, and it doesn't look like a game I've ever, it doesn't look like a game genre I've ever played. Like, just the style of it and all, like it's pixelated. Yeah, so it's a horror game, so I don't know if there's gonna be jump scares or not, but I've been just really wanting to to kind of try out a new game genre and just change it up a little bit, And I recently also got World War Z, so I'll play that soon as well. I don't know if I'm going to play a full playthrough of World War Z, but I will give my reaction of it and stuff because I was a big fan of the movie. The movie didn't do so well, but like I really liked the movie. Your game will be saved automatically at certain points. However, we recommend you put aside an hour and a half and complete Home in a single sitting. I've got time. I mean, I'll try. Turn up the sound, turn off the lights. Okay, here we go. Let's turn up the sound. I don't know if the sound is louder for you guys. I'll turn up my TV volume just in case. I want to see if that turns up my volume for you guys. Yeah, the volume for you guys is pretty good. Alright, let's go. Lights are off, but I've got a giant window covered by a curtain, which isn't very good of a curtain. Like, the window's too big for the curtain. So all I remembered at that point was finding myself alone. Press down. Okay, X. Oh my head. Where was I? It was so dark. There was something by my feet. A flashlight. Oh! That's great. Oh my... That house, where was I? Oh my gosh, it is spooky, and I barely even did anything, dude. Oh crap. There was a body lying on the floor. Who was it? Holy crap. Yeah, I'm turning it down a little bit. What's this way? I wish I had people in here right now. I would be asking where to go. I noticed that I limped as I moved down the stairs. How did I hurt my leg? I wondered. All I could really recall was coming home seeing Rachel. I was upset. She looked afraid. I shook my head and tried to clear it. I knew I should head downstairs to try to find a way out. I need to reposition myself on my bed. Okay. This game's... Oh, I can look up. The shelf was full of books on local history and hunting. Seemed like the owner of the house really knew the area. What's that right there? I don't like these noises. They're so loud. Some noises are so old dining table covered in dirty dishes for 2 people. There were dozens of beer cans and other liquor bottles among the dishes. The smell was turning my stomach. Same. I hate the smell of beer. The black and white photo looked like the man upstairs and his wife. I guess there was no reason for me to keep this. Did I take it? Sure. I slipped the photo into my pocket. Maybe this would help me find some answers. Now there are 2 cases that could screw me over by taking that. What's that? A thin gray mouse was stuck in a trap that looked frantic, but exhausted to it. Okay, so the thing is, I'm afraid of something screwing me over by, like, ghosts getting mad at me or something or like someone getting mad at me for something. Okay. I don't like these closing doors animation. Collection of rusty tools. These looked like they'd seen a lot of use and were caked in damp, smelling mud. Why weren't they in a shed? I don't know. Photo similar to the old one I picked up. It had been moved a lot. There seemed to be a switch behind it. Hang on. I didn't want to mess around with anybody's stuff. I clicked no for now because I want to search around. Guess we press it. I'm gonna turn down my volume again because dude, something's gonna happen. The sounds are so loud. Push it. It depressed smoothly into the wall. I heard a faraway click somewhere. Okay. I don't like this. I look like hell. My clothes were dirty and torn, and there was mud caked all over my shoes. The front door was blocked by a pile of furniture. I knew I had to find another way out. Dude, you could easily just... It's not that difficult. If you're desperate enough, you can move that. What was that? The door was taped up and seemed to be stuck by the smell. I guessed it led to the kitchen. The switch in the wall appeared to have unlocked this door. What's that up there? The box looked heavy, but there were marks on the floor. It had obviously been moved before. Maybe I had found a way out. I must have moved it, right? Yes. I heaved the box forward and it finally gave. There was a ladder going underground. Where the box was, a dank smell rose from the passage. I climbed. I'm scared. Yes. Let's go. Looked again at the photo I found in the house. The couple looked distant, like they didn't want to be in the same picture. That's not creepy at all. I wondered where the wife was. My leg was in terrible shape, but I had to get out. Wait, what? Wait. I'm confused, so, let's bring it back a second. So, every time it says for me to do something, it says, did I go down it? Like, did I go down the ladder? That's kind of weird, or other than like, should I go down the ladder? Kind of, you know what I mean? Actually, I want to look up the ratings for this. I didn't even see the ratings. Home a unique horror adventure review. This is it's a 6.5 star review. or 6.5 out of 10. Um, yeah, it's not rated the best. On Steam, it's rated 7 out of 10. I mean, it was cheap, so I mean, what do you expect, you know? Well, for me, it was cheap. I think it was like a $5 game, but it was like on sale. I could see. Okay, so I can go up and out if I choose to. Wait, was there something on the ground? Yeah, footprints in the dirt looked like there were looked like uh more than one kind and a lot of traffic. Places all over were marked on the old map of a town, the industrial area near the river, various houses, and even the water tower near the old rail station. I'm bad at reading, by the way. I didn't expect there to be so much reading. Newspaper clippings from the local paper they were all about murders in the town over the last few years. Okay, wait. There were photos of our house. What the heck was that about? Oh crap. Maybe I should have looked around more, tried to find some kind of is it telling me to go back up? A work table covered in papers, dirt, and a handgun. I hated guns. I didn't take it, did I? What? That? See, this is what I'm confused about. I didn't take it, did I? Like, yes, you took the gun. I tucked the small handgun into my pocket. Its weight was somehow reassuring. I mean, I'd be reassured with that as well. It was so dark down there, and the air smelled stale and putrid. I couldn't believe what I saw. What was this place? I don't like this. The door there, the desk looked old and was caked with grime. On it was a stack of old faded paper covered with what looked like names. They were scratched out and illegal notes were written beside them in faded blue ink. I could only make out a few letters. I'm gonna screenshot this quick. None of it made any sense to me. Is that a ladder down? Rusted hooks like the kind you find in a butcher hung from the ceiling. They looked pitted and worn from heavy use. The man upstairs, did he do this? What man upstairs? Oh, that guy. That one guy we saw dead. Crudely made shelves. They looked like they were holding cans of some kind of I've never seen that word before. The labels were worn and slick, but I could still see the warnings. It's another downward ladder. Looked like a cage. It was small, but there was something coating the bottom. Something wet. That is blood. I want to check out this door over here. There looked to be bones half dug into the ground and remains looked old. The faded clothes that stuck amongst the dirt looked familiar. They looked like the clothes the woman was wearing in the photo I found. Was this the man's wife? Yikes. It's getting spoopy in here. Some kind of homemade rack slung together with poorly cut wood and rope. It was caked with old blood. Somebody didn't actually use that, did they? I thought that was a ladder, that's why I didn't use it right away. Some kind of old boxes. They looked like they were years old. Wait a minute, these boxes had old clothes in them. Clothes I remembered throwing out after Rachel and I moved to town. What the heck were they doing here? There wasn't anyone there. Was I hearing things? No, don't do this to me, game. Okay, bats. Chill. I remembered noticing the broken ladder. I had to be careful. What was that? I felt vibrations. There was a rope hanging there. I wasn't sure how sturdy it was. Did I take it? Sure, why not? Maybe the rope would make that broken ladder easier to descend. What's this? I had the rope now. There must have been a use for it around somewhere. Okay. The rope I found would have let me climb down the broken ladder safely. Did I climb down? I could hear a faint hum and the smell from before started to get worse. Again, turning down my volume quick. And I'm gonna turn up my party volume so you guys can still hear it, because I think my party volume thing, my adjust audio mix, I think if that's up then it's louder for you guys. Bunch of old newspapers pasted together. A message had been hastily smeared on it. Keep out, danger due to cave-in. Cool, let's go. I can hear the humming now. I could still feel a faint impression of the rope I had slid down as I pressed against the heavy metal door. It was probably for the best that I hadn't jumped. Jumped what? The ache in my leg was bad enough as it was. If I could have it, though, I would have run straight out of those awful tunnels. Who would keep such a place? At least I thought I had found that old handgun. At least you thought you had found... Wait. It seemed to work, and from the smell of it, it had been used already. I kept the gun in my pocket. It seemed a familiar weight there. An exposed ventilation shaft. Maybe someone crawled through there, but it was so high up that it must have been sore from landing. Wait. So this is like backwards? 'Cause like maybe he jumped down and then went this way and went up the ladder. I don't know. There was dirt on the ground. It looked wet, and there was some grass smeared within it. Climb up the ladder. Disgusting. It was a mess of filthy garbage bags. There were rips and tears in most of the bags. What looked like an old videotape was sticking out. Sure, take the tape. I wasn't sure what I hoped to discover with the tape, but I took it anyway. I mean, no harm, right? I could hear a faint trickling sound like water. What was that? Oh no. I'm afraid. Kitchen knife covered in drying blood. Thinking about it made me sick. I didn't even want to touch it. Did I take the... Sure, take the knife. I slipped the knife in my boot since I had the gun in my pocket. Did I really need all this? Probably. Let's keep going. Excuse me. Sounded like it came from this way. Why am I going this way? Why am I going this way? Wasn't sure what these valves were. Did I turn it anyway? Sure. Sure. I'm gonna leave that one for a second. Wasn't sure, but I thought it was some kind of regulator. I had no idea how it worked. No. I feel like it's gonna be water. I feel like that's the main valve that'll activate everything and then kill me from... I'm gonna go to the exit, because then it'll probably tell me to go back. There was a rusty ladder sunk into the water, which smelled disgusting. I knew I couldn't climb down that way. Maybe I could find a way to drain the putrid water. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Where was that main valve at? I think there's another valve in here. I hadn't turned yet. Is it going... Actually, it might be going into the wall. Hang on. Thought I could turn this water valve to shut off its flow. Did I turn... Oh, to shut off its flow? Okay. Water's still there. Okay, so I'm gonna... Am I just gonna have to mess around with these? Looked like I turned off the water flow in this valve. Oh, wait, wasn't there one No, I turned this one. Turn it, why not? Wait, I thought I had... No. This is confusing. I'm gonna go take a look at this again. Wait. Wrong area. Excuse me. Oh, okay. Hmm. Maybe it'll tell me if I did something right. Is there anything down this way that I missed? Did I never went up this ladder, I don't think. Oh, wait, no, yeah, I did. Hmm. I might have to look up a walkthrough. I'm gonna look up a walkthrough. I'm gonna watch someone else play it quick. Oh, someone was able to beat it in an hour. Where's he at? Come on. Okay. Wait, what the heck? Oh, okay, I see. Hang on. Sorry, it's taken me a while. Trying to figure out how I'm supposed to do this. Okay. Yeah, he didn't show how to even do that. Hang on. Okay. See, the thing is, I don't know if I need it on or off. I don't know if I need it drained or if I think I need it turned off. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Darn. Valve was still active. Did I turn it again? Yes. Valve was still active. Okay. Is this one good? Yes, okay. I didn't know I needed to continue. Okay. I think I'm good. How about this one? Is this one all good? Yep. Okay. Now let's get jump scared. Looked like the water drained out of the grate in the wall. There was a small metal key left floating in shallow pool of rancid water. Did I take it? Yeah. Pocketed the small key, but it was so odd shaped I had no idea what it might open. The safety post there had definitely seen better days. How old was this facility? The door was locked. I could only see a faint light within. Found another dead body, a sewer worker, by the wounds all over his face and body. I figured he'd probably been stabbed repeatedly. There was a key ring sticking out of the man's pocket. I'd take it. Yeah. Thought about the knife I had found with the same disgust as I carefully picked the keys from his pocket, I almost felt worried he was going to grab me. There was a security camera in the room. There must have been a way to see what had happened here. Maybe the VHS tape I found could be useful. I'm just checking everything. There was a hint of fresh air here. I must have been near an exit, but I wondered what did that key I found on the sewer worker do and what was on the videotape I found. This must have been the other end of the ventilation shaft. Whoever used it could have gotten past that flooded room with this. Made my way up the ladder as best as I could with my leg. Would I really need that gun or that knife before the end? I wondered what was on the VHS tape I found or in the locked room. Should I have gone back to check? My head was buzzing with questions and tired thoughts as I ascended the ladder. Suddenly, as I lifted the heavy lid above me, I could smell fresh air, old pine trees. I don't like that. Is that the ladder I came from? I don't like that either. An old ladder leading up to the ancient water towers. A ladder needed to be extended so I could climb it. Did I extend the ladder? Popped the latch and brought the ladder down. I checked this way quick. I tried the little key I had fished out of the murky puddle in the sewers. It fit, and I heaved open the rusty door. The wind was picking up a bit. The night air became strangely chilly. Maybe I should go back to that water tower. Can I go back to that water tower? Yikes. In a patch of smeared dirt and grass, there was a beat-up old wallet. I thought it was mine. Did I take it? Yeah, sure. I slid the filthy wallet into my back pocket. I noticed it didn't contain any kind of gun permit. In fact, it didn't contain any cards or ID of any kind. I thought I should recover my credit card and driver's license at least. Is that all I came for? From the railing I could see over the woods and down to the entrance of the sewers. Had I come through there before? If I did, someone definitely could have seen me. See, I have no idea where this story is going, like, at least I'm not being jump scared or anything, but, like, jump scares is the only thing that gets me, and suspense. The old train station was quiet as a tomb. The only sound was that of an increasing wind buffeting and the... Can I not play this? An old map encased in glass hung on the wall. It was the train routes connected to the old station. As I looked familiar, as I looked at it, it seemed familiar. Of course, the map I found in those tunnels had similar locations marked in the notes I found on the other man's bookshelf. His notes mentioned the water tower and even this train yard. What was he doing coming back here? The old train was ripped open and hanging from a shred of metal, as well as the broken fence was a dark stained patch of cloth. It looked synthetic, like some kind of outerwear. Inside the train's shell, I could see a few faint impacts like wounds. Could they have been bullet marks? Was somebody shot there? The ground was well worn, though I couldn't really make anything out. I realized I was touching the gun I had found, as I thought. That's weird and creepy. So maybe everything I grab is changing the story as I go. Like, did I take the gun? The gun might be what's killing these people, or like with the knife. The ancient ticket booth was falling apart and covered in dust and grime. Stacks of paper lined the counter, faded remains of old schedules and reports. Among the papers were newer-looking sheets covered in scribbles and illegal notes. Come to think of it, the man in the house had kept similar scribbles. Oh my gosh, cramp. My stomach. Hidden on his bookshelf. He had notes on the water tower outside too. I guess he could have been coming here, but why? What was he using this old station for? Wait, so where else am I supposed to go? That's where I came from. Wait. Yeah, I'm so confused. Alright, so this gate leads to the building. Oh, I don't think I went this here yet. Nope, I didn't. This must have been the entrance to the forest that was mentioned on the map I had seen. Whoever was poking around in those tunnels underneath that man's house had scribbled notes on this place, but I couldn't make them out. Here, the sign pointed out various campsites, walking paths within the woods. Mentioned a river, maybe washroom, but the rest was too faded to see clearly. That wasn't creepy at all. Trampled into the dirt and grass was a plastic card of some kind. I brushed it off and was surprised to see it was my credit card. I wasn't sure if it was still usable. Did I take back my credit card or pocketed the credit card? Hopefully I could find my driver's license too. Through the fence I could see a wondered if I could find my way. I'm having reading troubles because some of these words I hadn't seen before. I don't like these. Holy crap. Holy crap. What was that? I felt a controller vibration. There was a fire pit there. It was still a bit warm and a few embers still burned at the bottom. Someone's here. 2 folding camping chairs were on the ground. One was knocked over. There were a couple of cans of beer spilled on the ground. The cheap dome tent slept 2 people. I shone my flashlight inside. Could see some bedrolls, 2 backpacks, and a cooler. People are around here. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Don't. Don't what? No, no. Sorry, that's my voice being annoying. A musty wooden plank dropped up a stall door. It didn't really seem useful. Did I bother? No. I didn't see the point in carrying that hunk of wood around. The grimy sink had a small patch in it that looked almost clean. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take this. Wasn't sure why, but I took the plank. Okay, it was mainly just to see if there was something behind it. Is this where I came from, or? Sign was the same as the first one I had seen. This must have been the exit to the other side of the woods. I had finally found the exit. Once I left, I knew I never wanted to return there. Finding the campsite had been strangely unsettling. I couldn't imagine why anyone would abandon their site in the middle of the night, especially in a dark forest. I was relieved at least to finally be out of there. Even now, as I peered through the dense trees, I could see cracks of light and a bit of the land beyond. I must have been getting closer to town, but where exactly was I? Dude, this flashlight's gonna go out sometime. As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto parts factory where I had worked as a mechanist for all those years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago now. Times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. Maybe it was just the wind. Excuse me. There was a large power box with 5 lights on it. Cables burst out of the box, shaking off the other parts of snaking off the metal was starting to wear and cobwebs had collected on the corners. The box wasn't receiving power. Well, dug into the ground was a cracked old watch. First my wallet and now this. Did I retrieve my watch? Sure. The watch was useless, but I put it on my wrist anyway. I can't see it on his wrist. I found the body of a security guard just doing his job, no doubt. His face was covered with blood from some kind of head wound. I wondered, was this flashlight his? Crap, dude. One of the lockers hung open. Its contents were tossed around like someone had been looking for something. There was a little electric box under a handle. A sign was pasted to the front of the said, danger close for repairs. Door was locked tight. It seemed to be connected to the power box beside it. Okay. So I need to do something involving getting the power on. Every part of this plant smelled old and rotted. I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. The board contained yellowed clippings of newspaper cartoons, and notices. They were notes to the guy. I'm yawning. And there were notes to and from the guys that worked here. One of them was Norman, who was one of the older guys on the line. Our old break table, the layer of dust and grime only made seeing this sting more. Power panel looked like it was shut off. Did I push it? Yeah. Turn it on. The open locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes and old boots. There was a photo of a woman taped to the inside, but it was scratched out and the face was unrecognizable. Yeah, flip the panel. Okay, this other one isn't working. Power plant was still. Okay, there we go. It was shut tight. There was a rusty looking card slot on the side. My throat's starting to hurt from talking. Up the stairs. Door had been hastily boarded up. This was Norman's locker. The door was dented like someone had punched it. I don't remember him doing that when we worked here. Or worked there. Wait, what? Well, my head ached and I recalled the last time Norman, Rachel, and I had lunch together. Rachel seemed so much more at ease when we all hung out. The utility shelf crammed with mismatched tools and items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Did I take the hammer? Yeah, sure. Maybe I shouldn't have taken it. As I took the hammer, I noticed it wasn't as dusty as the rest of the tools on the shelf. Great. I used it to kill someone. What's that noise? I think that means the generator's on. Yes, take the card. I thought that one was a woman's section card, but I guess not. Got the power box working again, the door was unlocked. I think that's it. Push the handle and step through the door. With flashlights hung from the wall. One of them was missing. You're holding it. I stopped noticing a dull ache in my leg when a terrible sensation warmed, uh, warmed its way down my spine. Even in the cool night air, everything felt too close. I never felt alone unmolested. Jeez. I tried to tell myself it was just the sight of that dead guard that was throwing me off the port. Poor boy. Looks like he had been done in long patrol. It's the flashlight I carry his. Is that squeaking from the game? My mom was doing something upstairs and I wasn't. I can hear stuff happening upstairs and it sounds like it's through the game. How did I come to possess it? And as I looked around the wet yard, the light seemed to blessing a more mysterious omen. I had to keep moving though. I had to find Rachel. Rachel! Rachel! I don't like those clouds. Or I don't like that fog. Rusty old truck had careened off the road into the guardrail. Its front was crushed and its windows had all smashed. Judging by the rust, it had been there a while. Dude, the suspense is killing me. Sounded like it was going to start raining again. The garbage bin was a disgusting mess of rotten food and slick black bags. I saw a thin greenish corner poking out from one of the bags. It was my driver's license. It looked damaged. I took it out, cleaned the card off the best I could. It looked pretty beat up. I was amazed to have found my credit card and now this. Again, I heard another squeak. I tucked the card into my wallet next to my credit card. I had entered Norman's place. This was the back of the store that he ran. It was oddly quiet except for the faint sound of a television. I can't hear it. The entrance to the front of the store was locked from the inside. Looked like I couldn't just pop it open. It needed a key. There was a bit of blood on the keyhole. Jeez, dude. What is going on? What was this? It looked like a pull chain hanging from the ceiling. I wondered where it led. Do I pull it? Sure. Give the chain a single tug and a simple folding ladder to the attic popped down. Holy. Oh no, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Norman, my coworker, and one of the few friends I had in this town, lay dead beside his armchair. His face and shirt were covered in blood. It looked like he'd been shot trying to get up. His eyes were still wide with shock. Norman did. He deserved better than this. Did I close his eyes? No. I was too scared about Rachel to stay there another moment. Because, like, the gun, the knife, the flashlight. I don't know what closing his eyes would lead to. I guess this was Norman's kitchen table. He kept it clean enough, but there were water rings from 2 cups still there in the wood. The kitchen trash bin smelled fresh. I didn't dig through that mess, did I? Yes. Found a hairpin against the rotting food and trash. I pocketed it. Okay then. Dude, that hairpin is gonna be like I somehow killed someone with it, you know? TV still flickered some indecipherable channel. I think that's what it said. I just kinda half read that word. There was a large cardboard box that hadn't been sealed. Yeah, sure, isn't it? Inside the old cardboard box was a pile of clothes and photos, even shoes. As I looked closer, I realized they were Rachel's. What were you doing here, Rachel? Were you responsible for a poor Norman downstairs? Dude, you were, bro. Okay. Yeah, wasn't there a door this way that I didn't go through yet? I wasn't entirely surprised to find this here, there. What? Find this there, you know, like find this here, find this there, you know. It's just how he's speaking. It was one of Rachel's old fall coats. I always wondered what happened to it. How long had it been there? Inside the cabinet was a small but impressive collection of hunting rifles, shotguns, and even a few items I didn't think were legal here. One of the slots on the rack was empty. The gun had found seemed to match the others there. If the handgun was Norman's, what the heck was he doing with it? The gun would fit there. Did I place it back in the cabinet? Yes, place the gun. Carefully pushed the piece back into place and it felt a great burden lifted. What? Hang on. I just got an achievement called a close call. Wait, what the heck? I'm trying to look at the achievements to see what it says. Get a little bit of a hint of what's going on. Discard a deadly weapon. Oh, dang. Oh. Okay. I see what's going on here. So, I am right. Picking up stuff pretty much screws you over. Or screws over other people. You're the killer. I used the hairpin to pick the lock. The hairpin snapped in half, so I threw it away. The general store was small, but it was clean. It had the usual things: postcards, snacks, magazines, and canned goods. Never went there much. Rachel usually stopped by after work if we needed anything. Wait. Okay, so one of the achievements was don't pick up anything along the way. One of the achievements were like discovering your worst fear or something. The register was mostly empty and a fat stack of travel magazines sat beside it. I don't know, I just felt the icebox seemed to be unplugged. It must have been off for a while. Most of its contents were half melted. So, the reason why I've been picking up everything is like I wasn't sure if I was ever going to need it again. Like the hairpin, which I just searched through a trash can for. Like, I needed that to get through this door. There were various postcards from the area, especially from the tourist trap. One of the postcards showed an old black and white photo of a water tower. It looked too much in the better shape then. It had been weeks since I'd seen Norman, and finding him that way was still left me cold. Thinking of him slumped against the chair only cemented my reassurance in getting rid of that gun. It looked like someone had taken that piece from his store, but why was it in those tunnels? As I stepped outside, I recalled that dusty old box of clothes in Norman's attic. I felt like I had only discovered more questions, no answers. But I was close to home. It was time to find out the truth. Okay, there's 2 doors, 3 doors, 4 doors. Let's do the one at the end. So I had the wrong gate. This one was locked. The heck is up with all these gates? The neighborhood's local post box. A letter was sticking out as if someone hadn't pushed it all the way in. I knew it wasn't right, but did I look at? So curious, but don't do it. I left the letter right where it was. Neighborhood mail wasn't my problem. I had entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my clothes. I was expectant, but also afraid. How long is your back hard, dude? I held my breath as I approached my back door. I was terrified to step inside. The house was painfully quiet. The only sound was my breathing. I ragged and strained. I flicked a light switch by the door. The power was off. Oh, great. I remembered having breakfast here on this very table. Was that yesterday or sometime before? I don't like this. There was a small pile of mail on the floor in front of the mail slot. How long had it been away? Why hadn't Rachel picked this up? Most of the contents were bills. There was a credit card bill. Did I open it there? No. Looking at mail was pointless. I had to keep going. The front door was locked from the inside. I couldn't go out, though I needed to see if Rachel was here. Okay. So, it wasn't going to let me anyway. The door to the basement was locked. Where had I put the darn key? How big is your house, dude? I don't like this at all. I had found the last missing piece of my wallet. The old photo of Rachel stared back at me, reminded me of better times. Didn't make me feel terribly comfortable. Did I take it anyway? Yes, because I'll get an achievement for it, I think. I replaced the photo in my wallet, feeling like I had got part of my life back. Still, the image made me uneasy. Why hadn't I thrown it away? Because okay. Stolen identity. That's what it gave me. Recover the pieces of your wallet. Wait. Stolen identity. Okay. Our television I had purchased it before I knew I was going to lose my job. I felt pretty guilty about it afterward, but by then it was too late. I don't like this humming. Damn. had been smashed. Its pieces scattered around the floor. My laptop had been left on and only had a bit of power left. On the screen was a website about the old water tower. There was a key in the top of it. Pocketed the key. Dude, that's gotta be the basement key. Basement is where I'm ending the game, I bet. How long has this stream been going for? I want to see. Because I want to see how long I have until I can stop playing this game and play World War Z. An hour and 10 minutes, yeah, so it's getting close to the end. Did I go through this door? No, I didn't. I don't think so. Nope. There's a bathroom. We were lucky enough to get a house with one of those beautiful, wonderful old claw-footed bathtubs. Our sink, which needed to be replaced, one of the taps always stuck, but I hadn't got around to fixing it yet. Bathrooms are like my worst fear in horror movies and stuff. Or it's... I think it's because, like, one reason is, like, bathrooms have those, shower curtains, you know? So someone could be hiding behind them. Or... I unlocked the basement door. Okay, I'm just gonna stop here for a second just so I can explain why I'm afraid of bathrooms. And then, so, the mirrors in bathrooms are also creepy because you don't know if something's gonna, like, appear behind you or something in the mirror. And then, the bathroom is also tiny, so you're pretty much screwed because it's so close quarters. There are old Christmas decorations in the box. I'm so scared. The garbage bags were stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There was a dirty old key. Check the key. I bet it's a key to the door at the end of the hall. I took the small key and tried to remember what it unlocked. There were old clothes and tools. Other things were obviously hadn't thrown out yet. Let's go here. I'd put up this divider wall last summer so it could create a separate room in this basement. I hadn't finished it yet, so the door was stuck and the drywall was poorly installed. Might have been able to break through if I found something heavy enough. Okay, I thought it was just a door, but... Okay, so I gotta find some heavy. Find some heavy. Would it be inside? It wouldn't be inside. Because I think I checked everywhere inside. Grimy key I had found in the basement unlocked the door. Oh, okay. Looked like the room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did someone break in here? There was an old crowbar on the floor. Yeah, take the crowbar. I needed it. I lifted the heavy crowbar, appreciated its weight. You liked the... Hang on. He's also feeling comforted by, like, heavy stuff. Other than the plank that I picked up. Alright, let's finish this game, please. Did I break through the wall with the crowbar? Yes. As I heaved, I swung the crowbar at a wall, smashed a hole large enough to step through. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught in my throat. This was it. Rachel down there? Was she okay? I don't want to know. Can't. Cool. what is that word? A filthy looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful and made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile to see what lay within, but I knew I had to. I had come this far. After all the searching, after all I had seen, when I looked within the rags, did I finally find Rachel? No, you didn't find Rachel. Oh no. Rags were wet, matted, covered in dirt and grime, but inside the tattered mess was no sign of my beloved wife. Rachel wasn't there. Looked around in confusion, trying to figure out what to do next. If she wasn't there, where was she? What I had been searching for this entire time. I remembered the look on Rachel's face when I came home, didn't I? The awful realization hit me right in the gut. I had been looking at this the wrong way, hadn't I? This is what you've been trying to tell me all along, isn't it? I couldn't find Rachel there, and I won't find her anywhere else because she was never there at all, was she? I stumbled back upstairs, pain in my leg, just a dull ache now. Sat down in my bedroom. My mind was spinning, and the ache I felt before was near crippling. Finally, I could no longer fight the exhaustion as I tried to grab hold of something that would make sense of all this. I must have drifted off. Went to sleep. I like to remember things. Oh, what's that? Maybe this wasn't what you thought at all. Oh, I like to remember things my way. Okay, let's keep going. I guess these books were all actually mine then. It was my wallet with its contents intact. Either I dropped that stuff or somebody else did. Maybe I was sleepwalking again. Maybe someone stole it from me. Norman's store, that forest, the water tower. Was I at those places before? No, there was no way. That was me out there. I woke up in that house. Remember, I wasn't off in any darn forest. Okay. It was the photo of the other man and his wife that I found in that house. Wait, were those really his wife's remains in those tunnels? Certainly seemed so. What did I think? Did the other man murder his wife and bury her in those tunnels? No? Couldn't be sure. He could have been another victim. After all, he was dead when I woke up. In the shards of the broken mirror, I could see my face, gaunt now, hollow and sickly, and immensely troubled. What other illusions had I dreamt up? What other truths were waiting to be exposed? That mirror looks different now. In the dirty, faded glass, I looked like nothing more than a faint shadow. That mirror, before I had fell asleep or whatever, looked blue, not gray. I used to tell myself that Rachel was the one who wanted to keep the tub. Dude, I think this is just all suspense. I don't really think there's anything horror-like other than just the suspense of everything. It was a key card I found at the bottom of the factory locker. I never did bother to use it. Someone had been going through those lockers and poking around the plant. Still, I didn't quite add up. What was I the one who had been going back to the factory? No. What would I have been doing there? I don't remember a thing about that place. Laptop had finally run out of power. This is weird. Wait, what was that? Did I look at this? Right here. I'd made up my mind. What is that? Is that a ring? A wedding ring? Office safe sat on the floor. I used to keep tax records and other important documents in it. It used the digital passcode lock, but I didn't have the code. Maybe I had left it somewhere else. There's another bed there. Still had no idea what was on that tape I found in the garbage. If only I'd found a way to watch it. I had that old TV for so long, I don't know if I could ever replace it. Downstairs. Seemed like I had seen all there was. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back into the basement. The pile of mail on the floor I now saw was addressed to me. Bills, credit card offers, a letter from the bank, they were all addressed to me. That was it. With Rachel gone, I couldn't stand to be in that house that moment longer. Did I leave and say goodbye to that nightmare forever? Not yet. I didn't deserve to go, not just yet. Maybe there wouldn't be anything for me to find, but I had to take a last look. Everything smelled musty and old down there. If I was guilty, I could take this to a warm, safe place and do something about it. No. No, don't kill yourself, please. Just leave. Let's leave the house. Let's go. That was it. With Rachel gone, I couldn't stand to be in that house any longer. Gotta leave and say goodbye. Just leave. Since I had arrived in town, things had been more difficult. Working in the plant, though, had been good for me to. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was when I had started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. Drinking was probably just a way to deal with that. It was almost as if I was trying to beat my brain at its own game. Things stopped making sense sometime after that. My memories of what happened are still in flux. I suppose that was when Rachel came along. This night had been worst of my entire life. Would it even be possible to bounce back from everything that had happened, everything I'd seen? You know, in a way, I almost wish I had even woken up tonight. It would have spared me a lot of pain. What happened to that other man that I found in the old house? Had I killed him? Is that why I was locked in that room? That's what I'm assuming. That's what I was thinking. Or did you? Who's you? Who's you? Is that me? Certainly not you. Who is me? What happened in those dank sewers? I was lucky in my way to even find my way out of there. But I never did find out what was on that tape that I now kept. Considering all I learned tonight, I wasn't sure if I wanted to. You know, I didn't know who had taken my wallet, but I knew it wasn't me. Who had been all over the town at Norman's or in the forest. I don't care what you think. I may be mad, but it wasn't me. There are plenty of other people to blame for this. Why don't you start thinking about them instead? He is being interviewed or something. The forest especially was a difficult maze, and I would rest easier if I never saw its like again. Obviously, we aren't seeing eye to eye on this, but we could both agree it wasn't me going through the old factory, right? I mean, you said it yourself, and I'm trusting you here, you know? I had to catch my breath and take it all in at each point until the factory things had only gotten worse. But then going to Norman's store, that's where the confusion and doubt started to set in. That's when my perspective on all this really started to change. Norman was dead, but I had no idea what had happened to him or what the box of clothes I had in his attic meant. Did he know? But as painful as all of that was, oh no, I couldn't bear to think about it again. After all I had seen done, finally coming home was supposed to be the end to this entire ordeal. I had no idea, though, that it was only the beginning. Silence in the house when I had stepped through the kitchen. That should have been my first clue. To think that I went through all of that completely unaware of what I had discovered, what I would discover. Did you know before the end? Did you mock me when you finally showed me the truth? You don't know what it's like to have everything ripped away from you in a heartbeat. How could I possibly go on now knowing what I do without Rachel? Even the thought of Rachel, I was truly lost. Let me just refocus my eyes a little bit, close my eyes for 5 seconds, man. As the door swung open, I could smell damp grass and the closeness of the air. After everything, it felt like I had more questions than answers. You made me see the truth, I'll give you that. But now I was completely lost. You took away the only thing that had kept me going. I was sure word would get out, and soon enough the police would come looking for me. And what then would... Oh my gosh. I can't read, man. I need to practice reading more. I suck at reading and I'm 17 years old. Would you be there to show me the way? What will I do then? My gosh, finally I don't have to continue reading. Slipping away. What's that? End your story by leaving. End your story in the bathroom. End your story in the kitchen. Realize your worst fears. Oh, so a lot of people just left through the front door. 50% of the people who played this game did that. Home is dedicated to my wife, Nancy, watch your back. The end. I guess that was it. I'll probably look more into this. I usually enjoy watching people play horror games and learning the story with other people than alone like this. Like, it would have been great to have some people watching it and learning through with me and thinking of uh, different hypothesize about what was going on. But I'm thinking that if I didn't pick up that gun or that knife, maybe some people would have survived. Unique Horror Adventure by Benjamin Rivers. I would rate this an 8 because it's well put together in a way that's like, it's not even like horror, like it creeps you out through the entire game, but nothing happens. An hour and a half of this, no jump scares, no nothing, not even another living being around me. It was just all suspense and just figuring out what was going on. And I'm assuming that like he was like, anything he thought or did would kind of transfer into something else, bad or good, in the game. Like picking up that gun, for example. Like that bus outside, it had like bullet holes and stuff in it, or was dented by bullet holes. I only took the gun because I thought I might have to use it in the future, but I never did. So I'll probably look more into this. I mean, anytime I want to, I can play through this again. So yeah, I'm just gonna go over to World War Z and recover. I'm not gonna jump into this again, but yeah, I'll see you guys over there.